fino al centro del mondo. Tutto quello che ho, in mezzo a tutto questo bel casino, è un motivo per sentirmi vivo, è un motivo per sentirmi vivo. Tutto quello che ho, il sangue che mi arriva dritto al cuore, l'ossigeno che spinge a respirare, e una ragione grande come il mare, come il mare.
Welcome to the 25% of Spa-Francorchamps. It's a wet race in Lamfong. Today's pole position, Mark Sidley alongside us, Christine Bentley and Mr. Bob. The first two on P5, round off the top 5 obviously. After I pulled between Matthew Hart from Duva Nunez Garcia and Olga Carmona. Dodge Vendetta rounding off the top 10. Bottom 10 started off with Nicholas Palomino and David Secchiera, with teammate Vitarals in P13. Then it's Spiker CB and UKB from Soundboy and Oyin Crow. The bottom 3 we have Oneville Lovus, Kiels Andalay and finally Enoch Hugh. 11 laps to decide the winner here. Can Lamfong convert pole to victory? Well, with the updated ERS settings, let's see what this race can provide as we go underway to start the 25% of Spa-Francorchamps. And Lamfong straight away doing exactly what he needs to do. He's held off Mark Sadley, Christine Bentley up into second on the race start as drivers pile their way down into the first corner. No collisions have been made, and that is very good. Lamfong though getting an incredible lead, already over a second up in the lead now, as Mr. Bob will try and get a move done on his own teammate Marcus Adelaide. He's trying to find a gap, but now he's under threat from Versio in the Ferrari F Corsa, as Christine Bentley has got pressure from Marcus Adelaide, who goes down the inside to take second place off of the Freedom Racing car. Luckily it's been a nice clean race to start everything off in the third round of the World Championship. At the two Force Racings getting very close to each other. Carmona though ahead of Matthew Hart, as Simon and Alves both have penalties right now. So that's an interesting thing to be seeing already at the moment. And I'm surprised none of these drivers have actually hit each other, as Palomino, who's wanting to make up some moves, but not close enough to Matthew Hart to get past, as Carmona picks up a 5-second time penalty for what collision, I don't know, possibly one of her teammate Matthew Hart. That is a possibility, as we're on board with the Scotsman. Can't even get the word out of my mouth, as he's just got no luck in catching up to Carmona right now. As heading on to lap 2, it's Lamfong who still leads, not losing the lead a single time in this race at all. Palomino's the wrong way round, and out goes Spiker. And that was Soundboy also in the wall as well. So yeah, very weird there, as everything just completely blew up at the final two corners. And yeah, Palomino with some damage to his car, and that's obviously not going to be any help to his race. And I'm sure he won't really be happy about that. Normal Soundboy or Spiker, all three involved in the collision have been punished in some way. Palomino with car damage, Soundboy with a penalty, and Spiker with a retirement. As Lamfong getting the restart he needed to pull away from Marcus Adelaide, Marcus Adelaide getting the restart he needed to pull away from Christine Bentley, who's also managed to pull away from Mr. Bob. Porter Cream though is getting close to Bob in an Alpine, and I wonder if Porter Cream could be a threat at all to Mr. Bob. As we're on board with the Finnair Trackline's driver, as they head round the Poulon corner, he's just going to try to get closer, and somebody's out. Two people out on an Oil Crow are both out of this race, and yet the smoking cars are just there. And after another two retirements, both Aston Martins now out, with one Ford also out of the race. Ford just can't escape the bad luck in Apex at all. They can't escape the bad luck here, and they can't escape the bad luck in Formula 1. Which is truly annoying for them, but yeah, they just have to fix their mistakes. As heading on to lap 3, it is going to be Lamfong who's still in the lead, not going to get challenged at all by Marcus Adelaide or Christine Bentley, as we are on board with the Freedom, who's getting closer to the Alpine right ahead. Also, there is a possibility of this rain clearing up possibly towards the end of the race to, you know, make it a dry race. It would be interesting. It could mix up some strategies as A.G.E gets a 5-second time penalty. As right behind it, it's Nicholas Falvino, who hasn't given up yet. He's just trying to find his way past enough, but can't find that room as every single place he could have attacked had been blocked. Enoch, though, is starting to fall away from the guys ahead. So this is a sign for Palomino to get ahead of you as soon as possible. As we're on board with the Toyota, who has run out of battery, but that's not really that important. As you can see, Palomino has got the place done despite having no battery mid-overtake. Just shows the battery's essentially useless. All it does is gives you a 25% boost in power with no top speed increase at all. It also recharges and discharges really quickly, so it's just there for a little push to pass. That's all it's there for. As we're still on board with the Toyota, as he tries to get closer to Kia Sandale, but can't get ahead. Kia Sandale is in a good place right now, as A.G.E has just picked up another 5-second time penalty. It's a 10-second penalty for him and Signboy now, both of them with the penalties there, and that's not going to be good. As UK will hold on to a big train here, him downwards, and the rain is clearing. Yeah, it's time to pit. Marcus Adelaide coming into the pits, and many other drivers will be as well. Mr. Bobson, so Alpine double stacking right here. I don't know if it's going to work. Yeah, let's give you a few seconds hold up here for Mr. Bob. But it's probably better than staying out. We'll have to see, as he's been held up even longer. The Alpine has lost so much time, and maybe it was probably just worth staying out now. But Lam Fong, he knows what he's got to do. He needs to be incredibly quick here on the start. With Marcus Adelaide being on the soft tyres, he should theoretically be a lot faster than Lam Fong on a drying track with the grippiest tyres available, which are also the easiest to warm up. Yeah, this is looking pretty bad for Lam Fong at the moment. However, he does have strategic flexibility in this race, and Adelaide as well, at least trying to clear the slower cars ahead like A.G.E and Soundboy. Like, we're going to stay on board with the Brazilian driver. As you can see, A.G.E right there. Is he going to go for the move? No, he's not. He's going to look around the outside of Puon, but he gets cut off. Like, A.G.E doesn't have to submit the place. He can defend all he likes. And this is going to actively cost Marcus Adelaide the chance of leading this race. As we're going to go on board for Lam Fong, who enters the pit lane. Bentley also in. Yeah, Adelaide might finally find the room, but he can't get ahead still. And A.G.E putting up an incredible defense right now on the Alpine. Like, he didn't even need to defend, but he still decided to in the end. As around the final corner, Marcus Adelaide has been let free, but Lam Fong leaves the pits in first position. And I'm very sure that Marcus Adelaide will not be happy, but there's nothing he can do. He can't just report an A.G.E for illegally defending, because that was very legal to defense. He wasn't lapped, so he didn't have to give up any positions or anything, so yeah. Wait a minute. And A.G.E and Soundboy are both out. Both of them have retired. And yeah, just got word in there that Finnair Tracklines and Power Motorsport have decided to retire Soundboy and A.G.E after serving the 10-second penalties. They served the penalties and then they retired the cars, which is an interesting choice there, but it's up to the teams. Yeah, I'm quite surprised about that one. That's another 2 retirements in this race. And Lam Fong, your race leader, Christian Bentley, though, holding on to second place which was crucial for him in this race, as Marcus Adelaide's tyres are already wearing out after less than 2 laps of being on them. In fact, they're already down 48%. Christian Bentley's going to start his second lap of being on this soft tyre. Fastest in the third sector, but his tyres are going to start to wear out. Marcus Adelaide stays out. Versio takes the fast lap. Horse Green takes it, Mr. Bob takes it. So many drivers are taking away the fast laps of this race. As into the pit lane there comes Olga Carmona. After 2 laps of being on the soft tyre, she comes in, moves on to a fresh set of hearts. Nicholas Palomino will take P14, Olga Carmona in 15th position right here. For Force Racing, she's going to leave the pits in dead last, but being on the hard tyres, this could be a good choice. The hard tyres do just seem like the obvious choice though, of tyre, yeah. Christian Bentley is suffering with some tyre wear. De Benedetto picking up 3 track limit warnings. UKB now on to 2 of those. As for battles in this race, we haven't really got any, so that's a shame. I guess we just have to wait for cars to close into each other. I don't know what Bentley's going to do though. He could come into the pits at the end of this lap. He could try and go longer and try and minimise the amount of pit stops that he's needing to do in this race. But yeah, he's coming around the final corner. I think he's coming in. Yes, Bentley is into the pit lane. Lam Fong, on the other hand, for Ferrari of Corsa, he's going to come with a dominant lead right now. Versio, closest car to him, is 12 seconds behind. Paul's the crew and Mr. Bob are also right behind him as well, possibly trying to put threat onto him to get rid of this Ferrari 1-2 that's currently happening at the moment. As Paul's the crew is going to get past Versio. Versio not really able to fight that one much. And yep, Ferrari submits to the Finnair. And now under threat from Alpine's Mr. Bob. However, there is something Versio can do about this one. He can defend. There's no DRS coming up. It's a very aggressive defense as well by Versio. As Mr. Bob just wants to try and get past, but he's unable to. He seems to be quicker as well than that Ferrari. He's trying his hardest. And I think he might have found some room there, but he can't go for it. He could have committed more, but he's decided to play it safely. Lam Fong just got the perfect race at the moment. Oh, contact there as Bentley goes into UKB. So if that was an undercut attempt, well, it's gonna fail. Like, he's actively stuck behind drivers right now, as De Benedetto is overtaken by UKB, who moves up into P6. Pulls the cream into the pit lane after 4 laps of being on the hard tyre. Oh, Kiers Andley, he's got a puncture. Yep, there's punctures on Kiers Andley's car, and that's very bad for him, but he came at the pit at just the right time, as Palomino is overtaken by Marcus Adelaide, who is now up into 8th position. On board with the Toyota as Matthew Hart in P8 right now. For Force Racing, probably be hoping for a better position than this, to be honest. As we're literally on board right now with that Force Racing, who's watching Adelaide and Garcia fight. Marcus Adelaide moves ahead of Nubert Nunez Garcia. As Peugeot can't defend that, Marcus Adelaide on fresher tyres and also quicker tyres is going to obviously make use of that pretty well. However, his tyres are wearing out, so he has not really made the best strategic choices here today. There's been teams that have done better ones than this. But after all, it is De Benedetto at the front of this train. Marcus Adelaide closing it into Benedetto, however Garcia now falling away. And probably he's ahead of the train now, since Adelaide has successfully pulled away. Lanfong though comes into the pits and it is soft. Soft tyres, 3 laps to go. Is this doable? We saw what happened with Chaos Andley. As Lanfong comes out the pit right behind his teammate, so not really ideal right now. He'd probably hoped to be within a second, but he won't be. He won't be within a second. Versio though probably will be told to give up that place. He's going really slowly on this straight. Lanfong is going really quick, and yep, there we go, no fight from Versio. As Fong now up into the lead of this race once more. Oh, out there! Goes Matthew Hart, Davey Sekiera, somehow surviving that incident. As they head up Eau Rouge, it looks like there was contact there. I have no clue who's at fault for that, but looking at the angle, could have been Matthew Hart. At the same time, it could have been Sekiera, he could have just drove into him. Matthew Hart, though, could have turned in on Sekiera, or not turned in enough to make contact with Sekiera. Who knows? Whereas the VSC has ended. Sekiera survives, that's all we know about that incident. Sekiera survives, Hart does not. And for Lanfong, this race looking well at the moment. If he can go to the very end, that'll be great for him. Like, you can do 3 laps, sort of Chaos Andley, as into the wall goes Villalobos, who's out. Mr. Baldo seemingly involved as he's got damage to his car. We did see him pull off from the grass there. So yeah, this is the very chaotic part of this race right now. Mark Adelaide though, his tyres are struggling. Oh wait, it's 4 laps that the driver's struggling to, not 3. Okay, that's my fault that. I was getting confused before, I think. But as we are agreeing, this race should be in the bag here for Lanfong, as he enters lap 10, race leader, Versio in the other Ferrari in 2nd place right now. If he can make this a 1-2 for Ferrari AF Corsa, I'm sure they'll be happy, but yeah, with the tyre wear as it is, I don't think he's going to get to the end of this race. He will have to make another stop, which will be at the end of this lap, but he's only going to come in if he gets a puncture. So Versio's race here is under a lot of jeopardy at the moment, as we've got a big pack of cars just fighting it out here as Andale goes for a move on UK ball. Can't get that move done as the Britain closes in on Andale, so it's actually Bentley going for the move. Yeah, this pack is just confusing me right now. As we're on board with David Sekiera in the Atlas Ford, who can see Garcia and Palomino right ahead. He's trying to go for the move, being very aggressive, trying to box Palomino in. It's backfired though, and Mr. Bob's going to put Sekiera under some pressure on the outside line. At the end of the Camel Straight, Mr. Bob up into 8th position. Palomino still fighting with Nunez Garcia, somehow not making any contact at all, as he maintains his place for Mr. Bob, but Palomino is back into P6. This is incredible racing out here at Spa-Francorchamps, and I'm so happy to be seeing some actual racing going on compared to the absolute dull racing we were having earlier. Mr. Bob moving ahead with Nunez Garcia. Lanfong though leads this race on to the last lap of the race, lap 11 out of 11. I can't wait to see what happens now, as Verstio's struggling, but he's still stayed out 8% on his tyres. And oh, Mark Adelaide! Oh no! He's got a puncture onto the last lap, but that's something Alpine were not expecting. And what I say about 4 completed laps on the tyres, the driver just couldn't do that. Now Palomino needs to try and hold P6, but that's not going to happen. Mr. Bob goes straight through into 6th position, Palomino down in 7th. It is the battle between 6th and 7th right now for P6. And heading up Eau Rouge Radion, you can see Mark Sadley crawling around the track, and there's contact! Oh, the Alpines have hit! Palomino's also hit as well! And David Sekiera's capitalising off that. He goes straight through to P5. Palomino, though, congratulations to him for surviving that incident. His car percent though down to 6. And I can guarantee once the green flag start waving again, he is gonna be just a snail on the straight lines. Chaos Adelaide though is under big threat here. His tyres could explode at the very end of the lap, so yeah, he needs to get to the end safely. But it's been a bad restart for him. Palomino with the crippled car is actually gonna get pretty close to him, but now the lack of pace is gonna no. Nunez Garcia out of the race. And yeah, on a very chaotic final lap, and in a very exciting wet to dry race, it's Lam Phong who's gonna come home to take victory in the 25% of Spa-Francorchamps. Lam Phong wins the endurance race by a blistering 30 seconds to Versio, as it last said there. We'll just have to see what the true gap is. But when this race ends, Versio's got a puncture. He has got a puncture there, and Paul's Cream should be on for P3. No, he's got a puncture as well. Devendel's got a puncture. David Sergio, though, still hasn't, as Palomino's out as well. Just so many drivers obtaining punctures in the very late stages of this race. What the hell? Like, it's currently... Oh, Adelaide's tyres are gone. His tyres are about puncture as well. And yep, there we go. Punctures are happening for him. Versio is going to come around the final 2 corners. He should be P2. UKB tyres are still alive, so he has an opportunity to gain a place or 2 here. Versio comes round the final corner. It is going to be a Ferrari, of course, a 1-2 here. But Versio's going to cross the line with no tyres left, kind of. He's a whole 1 minute 4 behind. The largest margin we've ever seen in Apex history. I think that record for the largest gap goes to Lam Phong. As UKB will cross the line, he just gets P5. There's Olga Carmona and David Sekiera. And Chaos Adelaide is going to round everyone off. What massive gaps though that we have seen today. What the hell? And it is a Ferrari 1-2, as you can see here. Lam Phong taking victory. Versio P2. This race a crucial one for Ferrari AF Corsa in the fight for the Constructors' Championship. Horse Cream in P3 for Finnair track lines. He'll be happy with that, but yeah, them late race punctures really cause a lot of chaos. I'm so glad to have you on board with these races. Can Lam Phong defend his title that he got from 2019? Well, we'll have to see how the season progresses. It's only round 3 of 8, I think. Could be 7. I'm not fully sure about that one. But with that, anyways, let's listen to the Vietnamese national anthem. There goes Ferrari 1-2, Lam Phong Versio, then it's Paul Supreme round off the podium. Deventel gets 4th from UKB on Olga Carmona. Steve Sergio finishes in 7th with Christine Bentley and Chaos Adelaide. And that was literally it for your finishes. Palomino and Garcia retiring on the last lap, as well as Mr. Bob and Marcus Adelaide. There was also Juan Villalobos, Matthew Hart, Soundboy, Enoch Q, Lighter Owls, or Encouraged Spiker, who also retired as well in this race. And with that, we're done with 25% of Spa-Francorchamps. See you next time in the 50% of Le Mans when the Apex WEC series returns.